Hey there, it's Fight here with another repeat lesson in life. When you do screen recordings and switch off your microphone, afterwards remember to switch it on, because this is the second time I'm recording this year, because of course I spent 10 minutes doing a recording without the microphone on. So that's lesson number 1 for today. Lesson number 2 is all about how to get people into a subscription program and keep them there. And that's the key thing, keeping people in a subscription program. Whether it's SaaS or info-oriented, or whether it's just coaching calls, whatever it is. If you have or aiming to do continuity, which I highly recommend you do, because there is nothing that beats the regular income from subscription, and you probably already know this. One of the key things is, how do I keep people in there? And what I've got for you today is a mini case study where we kind of start with that end in mind, how to keep people in, how do we stop them from unsubscribing or cancelling their subscription, and it starts with your marketing upfront. So, what we've got here is a conversation I had earlier today with Stephen on Facebook, and he reached out to me saying, look, can you go check out Kivio? We have a version 2 coming up in the next couple of months, and we've got a special right now. When you pick up Kivio right now, version 1, you get free access to version number 2, which is a sweet deal. But then I said, well, tell you what, I'm on Kartra. I have got everything on Kartra. I'm very, very happy with Kartra. Give me a good reason why I should make the effort of changing over. And he said, well, okay, right now Kartra is more advanced than Kivio, gotta admit, but soon Kivio 2 will kick backside. And I said, all right then, tell me about 2.0 and kicking backside. And he gave me this. Well, it's completely rebuilt from scratch. Personally, I don't care. Microservice architecture, super scalable. Again, I don't care. What does that mean? It means speed. Every page will load in under 2 seconds, hopefully under 1 second. Now that is something I might pay attention to, because that is going into Convertri territory. Convertri are absolutely dominating that space of fast page load times. So if you can do that with a sort of standard page builder inside a bigger package, like Kivio is like Kartra. It is about page builder and membership site and emailing and all of that. If in there you can have that fast page load time, I'm listening. Alrighty. One-click upsells, whatever. I've got that in Kartra. Smart journeys, no idea what that means. Visual funnel builder with something that nobody has. And now comes drumroll, and that's why it's highlighted here. I'm sure you know 5 stages of awareness. Yes, indeed, I know. This tool allows you to visually build funnels and enforce the logic with conditions and actions. So say, if a visit score greater 30, then send to page X, else send to page Y. So you've got actions where basically when someone visits a page, you set their score to whatever, 30, 15. You add them up, and that way you can figure out how aware are people, what kind of content are they engaging with, and that way you kind of get a feeling for where in the following of the 5 stages of awareness they are, and as a result you can send them to the appropriate pages. I gotta tell you, I can already do this in Kartra, but that as an aside, we have adaptive funnels that lead people through the 5 stages. Now, before I go on and show you what I responded to this, I would like you to step back for a second, pause this video, look at the screen, and ask yourself the following question. Of the things I see here, all of this here, the build from scratch, speed, one-click upsell, smart journeys, visual funnel builder, this functionality here, I think that is the smart journeys, that's what they call. Which of these would you want? Where did the inner child go, man, that's what I want, that is awesome? Be honest with yourself. You don't need to share it down below, just want you to be honest with yourself. Where do you think that is awesome? I want that. And now I'd like you to step back and say, inner child, go and play with some candy in the corner. Now I'm looking at this from an adult perspective. Ask yourself, right, which of these things can I actually use? Where do I have the bits in place where I can use them? Right, so do I actually have the need for super fast loading pages? Do I have traffic coming in? Do I have enough products to actually have one-click upsells? Do I actually have the understanding of the 5 stages of awareness and can serve different types of content to my visitors? With that in mind, pause the video, go look at this, then unpause and look at my conclusion, or what I responded to him. So here's my response. If we were in a room right now, you'd hear me laugh, and I did actually laugh. You're doing a fabulous job selling the geeky side of things to a geek. So I'm the geek, and he is a geek. We're both computer scientists. He sold me the super cool insider, behind the scenes ninja stuff. I'm personally all over this. I really am. But are you guys sure that's what the mass market is actually going to use? And this sentence here is the key thing, right? They are selling to a mass market, as does everybody else. As do the Carters of this world, as do ClickFunnels, as do your autoresponder, the lead pages. They all sell to a mass market. And what I say by a mass market, it's the people who use a small percentage of the functionality, and rarely do they use the advanced stuff. In autoresponders, we all want automation and segmentation, but I can bet you pretty much anything, a rack of slow-cooked ribs and a crate of beer, that the vast majority of people will use their autoresponder to do a bit of broadcasting and possibly have some autoresponders, and that's it. They don't actually use the automations and the segmentation functionality. And the same goes for this here. So the reality in the real world is the vast majority of people who give you money for your product is a mass market. They're not actually going to use this advanced stuff. So, and here's the key thing. Of course, they'll say they want it, and the want is emphasized. Right? If you go and ask people, hey, do you want this? And that's why I asked you. Your inner child said, which of these things do I want? I bet you most people watching this video went, man, this is awesome. And that's what my inner child said when I saw this. This is awesome. I want it. Turns out I can already do it in Kartra, but that's as an aside. So, of course, everyone's inner child is going to say they want it. But my experience tells me, and this is literally me doing this for 12 years, not only for myself, but also for others, plus teaching the sales reps for newspaper advertising space, real professionals who go out and sell. Most entrepreneurs and salespeople in general haven't got the slightest clue how to figure out where people are in their decision-making journey. How ready they are to buy. Never mind put an appropriate marketing message in front of them. That is my bitter experience, not only doing it and teaching it or coaching, but also, seeing this firsthand with countless, I literally count this in so many seminars, live workshops, and then going into local businesses. Most people haven't got a clue how to communicate, and never mind listen to what clues others are giving them as to where they are in their decision-making journey. And as a result, the typical approach for, and this is probably a conservative guess, is 99% of marketers is they fling messages, they hope to fling enough marketing messages that some sticks, right? And that's it. As a result, do they need, and will they be able to use this 5 stages of awareness, the adaptive funnels? The answer is 99% of marketers, no, right? And then he goes, yeah, okay, the smart journey part is for more advanced marketers outside IAM. The simple stuff is funnels, free flow builder, amazing templates, security options, all that good stuff, And all that is very, very well. Why am I telling you this? Because I've just told you, there's some cool shit here. I mean, people are going to be all over this and buy it. And they should. Because it appeals to the inner child. The inner child goes, that is awesome. They feel happy, and everyone, lives happily ever after. The problem, and that's kind of how I opened this video, the idea was, well, how do you attract people into your continuity? Well, by doing cool stuff like this here. And how do you keep them in your continuity? And that's where the problem starts. Because in reality, when you've got something as advanced as this here, a lot of people come in and don't use it. And then they look at their credit card bill. Every single month, it's $69 for Kivio. Yes, they do discounts for the annual, or even bigger discounts for if you buy 2 years in advance. But at the end of the day, every month, if you go for the monthly, it is money going out for something you cannot use because you don't have the knowledge of how to do this. And that's the key thing. So now, don't get me wrong, Kivio, one of their key founders, or one of their key owners now, I think they bought it and now owners, is Neil Napier, and he does a fabulous job, always has been at the forefront of training and enabling their users. So they're doing a lot of work. They can, or whatever they can to educate you. But in general, most subscription services, most SaaS services don't do that. They just go, right, we've got some cool stuff, and now you're on your own. And as a result, a lot of people are in your program. They look at this and go, you know what? It sounded so awesome. My inner child was all excited, and now here I am, and I'm not using it. And it's $69, and it's $69, and it's $69. And unless there is a big pain of disconnect, in the sense of you lose a massive investment and you never can get it back when you unsubscribe, they will, right? They will unsubscribe. They will move over to something else. I give you an example. I am paying GoToWebinar, whatever it is, €80 a month. That's roughly whatever, $90 at the moment, something along those lines. And the pain of and that's for the 1,000-seat plan. I have to admit, I'm never filling the 1,000 seats. However, the pain of disconnect for me is that their pricing has gone up so much that it'd be foolish for me to let go of this 1,000-seat plan, right? I'd be paying the same for probably a 100-seat plan. And now I'm starting to go, pain of disconnect. The pain of disconnect with page builders, like, for example, I asked them in the beginning, Kartra, like, why would I move over here when I have the pain of disconnect with Kartra? I have invested a lot of time understanding and building out everything in Kartra. Lots of automations, tagging, segmentation, auto this, that, the other, a lot of stages of awareness stuff. Why would I switch over? Like, there is a real pain of disconnect. So I'm running, too long here. So the big summary is, it's one thing getting people into your continuity, but then if they're not in a position to take advantage of the really cool stuff that got them in the first place. And this is the key thing, right? If they got in for page speed and it delivers page speed and they got everything they wanted, fine. This is icing on the cake. But if this is the key thing that persuaded them to get in, and then they're in there and go, man, $69, but I'm still not clear on what the 5 stages are, sooner rather than later, they will unsubscribe. So my summary of this whole thing, and this is my personal experience actually doing this and making that mistake, learning from it, is this. You have cool stuff, right? You have knowledge, you have expertise, you've got cool features in your software, and you are so excited about them that you do everything you can to highlight that. And you shout it from the rooftops and go, this is the cool thing. And lots of other people's inner child is going to go, oh, yeah, that's what I want, and they sign up. And then you run the risk of them going, well, actually, I signed up for this cool stuff. I can't use the cool stuff, so why should I keep paying you $69 a month? And they stop doing it, right? And then you've got unsubscribe rates. So despite the temptation to lead with your cooler stuff, make sure that you're actually getting people in on the things they can actually use, and use everything else as icing on the cake. So they're primarily focused on the thing they came for, and they're getting it, and they're getting value out of it. They understand the value of that, and everything else is just an over-the-top bonus. There you go. What I'd love to do now is for you to think back to think back to the exercise I asked you. Your inner child, does that resonate with you? Did that happen as I thought it was going to happen? Did your inner child go for this cool stuff? How did that play out, and how do you see? Or how have you seen this play out in the past in your own life? Have you subscribed to things where you then unsubscribed? And as a next step, how can you use this in your own business? Where were you tempted? Where are you tempted to lead with the very best you've got? And before you know it, you're going, oh man, the people are not getting it. What's wrong with them? But they're unsubscribing. Leave a comment down below. Let's get a conversation going here, and let's learn from everyone's experience to see how we can make this better for all of us. Because at the end of the day, subscription recurring income is a very, very good idea. As long as you provide value, cool. Why not get paid for it every month and make that big effort, the one-off sale in the beginning, make it a thing you only do once instead of having to do the heavy lifting over and over and over again. Alrighty, leave a comment down below. Let's get that conversation going. Cheers. Bye.